Well, I'm Wesley Walker and I'm president of the Friends of the Theatre Gladstone. It's an organisation that has been going since 1984. 84 we've been going, and we have a number of our members here today. I'll move the camera around so that you can see them.
Today, we've come about 100 kilometres southeast of Rockhampton to Gladstone, the coastal city that these volunteers say still feels like a town. Sometimes they refer to themselves as just Friends. It's short for Friends of the Theatre. And this particular Friends of the Theatre program is made up of over 50 volunteers who assist in keeping the impressive Gladstone Entertainment and Convention Centre running smoothly. In an average year, the volunteers here, some of which you're about to meet, contribute over 3,000 hours helping to deliver exciting concerts, theatrical productions, and corporate events for their community. The Friends are known for their warm regional town hospitality and for greeting every guest with a smile. And can I tell you, my cheeks hurt from all the smiling I did during my time with these amazing Queensland volunteers. I'd better hand you back to Wesley, who over the course of this episode will introduce us to his fellow volunteers, Bev, Heather, and one of their newest recruits, Amanda.
We have a number of our members here today. Behind me you can see Heather.
She's a very hard-working lady, very willing to do any job. She could be not well, but you know that if she's coming to work, she'll turn up and do 100% or probably 110. Heather will do any job. She says, wherever I'm needed. That's Heather's words.
I've been volunteering since I was 14 and I come from a family of volunteers and grew up in a town where you always have to be supporting your community, so that's what we do. Still, I just enjoy being up here and greeting people and welcoming them as they come through the door and say, hope you enjoy your show and enjoy our theatre. That's what we do when we meet and greet, and then when we show them to the seats, make sure they're safe to get to their seats. But it's always great working with community. We have all different people coming through here. We have dance schools come through. It's just perfect for everything that you could think of in the community can be done in this entertainment centre. We've got the most beautiful theatre here. I don't think there's any better than it in Queensland. I don't know about the rest of Australia, but we're very proud of our theatre. The theatre has got the best acoustics. So even when the extensions were done, they didn't change that because the acoustics in our theatre are perfect. Not that we're bragging, of course, but but I just enjoy it. I just love it so much. They produce plays, big plays. And the high schools get together, and the work that they do is phenomenal. You look and you think, where on earth did they get all that talent from? It's just so wonderful, just sitting there and so proud, seeing these young kids from 10 up to 20 putting through such professional performances. Yeah, very proud of the theatre and of the community. It's not just up in theatre, we also go to other places where the council needs support. Just supporting our community, our council in general, that's what we're all about. Giving back. We receive a lot out of this town and we just give back to what we receive.
Bev's our treasurer and has been for many, many years. In fact, Bev was a founding member of the organisation. Bev, oh, you really want to know? No, look, Bev's a long-standing stalwart of Friends of the Theatre, and she's been treasurer for a long time. I don't think the time when you weren't treasurer. But without that, we wouldn't be able to do the projects that we do. Bev manages the money very well, very transparently, very accountably, all those important things. Without that, the organisation wouldn't be able to do what we do. Things like, well, we got a grant for that. Would we also put some money in to getting some two-way radios for the ushers to work with so that they could communicate with the front of house? But Bev initiates a lot of that. Through her experience in fundraising, she is able to initiate a lot of those sorts of things.
Oh, look, I grew up like Heather with parents that always did community work. Yeah, I started in about 1984, 40 years next year. We're very busy because it's coming up Christmas. Friends of the Theatre give the volunteers a Christmas dinner. We have 3 socials a year we do for our volunteers. Some of them live in town, which is about half an hour drive into town, to come and volunteer. But I think they enjoy coming. As they're ushering and that on the door, they see part of the show.
And the other thing is that when we're working, there's only 8 of us at a time. So we have the social so that those that don't commonly meet each other can meet everybody and socialise.
I may not see Amanda for 3 or 4 months because we never worked at the same time, because our members went down quite low, and we've now gained nearly 15 or 20 new members in the last 12 months, which is very exciting. And most of them are all younger, and that's what we wanted. They came out of the blue. And we've got another big lot ready to interview at the moment. We've got another 10 or more, and I've seen some of them, and they'll be very good volunteers. They just applied. We got a flood. We don't know where they come from. A lot of us are over 70. Few of us are in our 80s. And you've got to have young people. Otherwise, we'll be lost, because we've got to have people coming through behind us. And a lot of people, younger people, have got a family and they've got, they're all working. So it's very hard to attract them to volunteering, because they don't have the time at this stage of their life.
And here we have Amanda, who is one of our more recent recruits and is loving it, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amanda is one of our newest and latest volunteers. Look, she is so bubbly. It's so easy to get along with. Even when she's walking towards you, she just has that friendly, she's just a beautiful natured person. As are a lot of our friends, but she's very special, and we love having younger ones coming along too. You are younger, much younger, because it is important for friends to keep going and for the theatre to keep going.
Yeah, so it's funny that they don't know how their volunteers signed up, because I actually read a Gladstone News article about Friends of the Theatre looking for volunteers, and submitted it. Got a random call out of the blue to say, come in for an interview. And I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah, so they did a really great intake, really great to, be signed up.
Tell me more about why you were so excited when they gave you a call.
Possibly a little bit different. I love the theatre. I was in drama when I was in school. Go to school, then you work. I've got lots of people in my life who actually worked in film and in TV. I would never do that. That's not really my driver, but I really like watching the process and being able to see how the process works, from working and volunteering at the theatre and watching the tech guys and how these shows all come about. It's kind of exciting. A very good friend of mine was actually in productions in Brisbane and would describe his experience as being on the stage and acting and singing and dancing. And I'm like, well, that's not really what I want, but doing this really makes sense to me. I love it.
Why is theatre and production special to you?
Well, I think it's really important for people to tell stories, and I think it's really important for a community to be able to represent those stories, song, dance, drama, all those types of things, because if we don't tell our stories, there's kind of no connection. And to me, watching people connect and to be able to tell their story or their journey is very important. And it's important for that performer to be able to say their journey and their truth. And as a community, as a group of people, we really all should go and see the things that we want to see and share the stories that we want to share.
It's where we do it. We do it at the theatre, don't we? And it's such a special thing for everyone in that community to have, and such a special thing that you all support and make possible.
If we didn't see it, it would be a very boring life, I think. And it's exciting, right? To take a night off and go and see something completely different that I would never be able to do myself. And some of these people are amazingly talented. So it's phenomenal. It blows your mind.
Yeah, we see all the shiny parts of what people are up to on social media and platforms like Facebook and Instagram. But when you come to the theatre and see a play or a musical, you're getting the full picture, aren't you?
Yes, I think so. And I think that's very important. Sometimes it's important to see people make boo-boos, and it's actually important to see the kids perform and develop their talent. And it's important to see people who are very polished, who come and show us such amazing entertainment, and just to take a night off real life. What a great asset for your community. What are the things that you're really hoping to accomplish as a volunteer at Friends of the Theatre? Well, it was funny. I was listening to the other ladies. My mum always volunteered when I was growing up. So, she used to make me go to Meals on Wheels with her when I was a teenager. that's not my thing. I don't like cooking for, 100 people. So this was my way of being able to be involved in telling stories, and we all share notes about, oh, we saw this show, or we went and did this, or we saw this performance. And we all, as a volunteer group, I find, get recommendations about shows that I would never think to go, and I go and Google it and I learn new things. And I think that's a really important aspect of being able to share with a like-minded group of people who are as excited about the theatre as I am.
How do you feel like people experience the Amanda experience as a member of Friends of the Theatre?
I don't know. I just try to be kind and helpful to everybody. Hopefully they find me kind and helpful back, and we all enjoy our shift together, and we, occasionally go for coffee afterwards. I've been invited to a group of, coffees, and yeah, it's been really lovely to be able to connect with.
It's always a good sign when you get invited to coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. I tick that box and say I must have done a good job today. Just reflecting on, if we weren't here doing it, you'd walk in, you'd hand your ticket to someone, you'd walk in the door, or could you be greeted and shown your seat and welcomed really warmly? And it's two different things. So yeah, there's still lots I probably don't know, but I think things are going well.
How's she going, everybody?
She's doing
well.
She's finding extra time in her life to come and volunteer.
Extra time, yes.
Yeah.
Creating time out of thin air somehow.
Yeah, some days, but we're doing the shuffle. My kids are a little bit older, primary school age. I've had to occasionally juggle some shows, and, the roster clerks are really lovely about Friends of the Theatre. And if something comes up, I just reach out and say, hey, something's come up, I can't work. As flexible as it needs to be, and it's really, really great.
I have been with Friends of the Theatre for 22, is it? 20. I knew it was 20-something years, yes. And I've been volunteering all my life, so yeah.
Wes strikes me always as being really enthusiastic, just really committed to everybody just getting on board. At the Christmas parties, it's really great to kind of wrap people into answering. Like, we had a trivia game last year, and that was it was hilarious. Just the jokes that Wesley was coming out with, very personable. So I would say enthusiasm, 100 million %. He's very sharing and very open. I really like that.
I suppose that's the way I was brought up. My parents did the same thing.
Yes.
And I just like to be involved in things. The community does a lot for me. The world does a lot for me. So I like to give something back. It's given me a lot of skills along the way. I've learned so much about a whole range of different things in different organisations, and keeps the brain active, keeps the body active. Sometimes I think they think I'm a bit of a pest because I keep bobbing up everywhere in different organisations.
Okay, and then after they realise you're not a pest, what do they say?
Give me work to do or give me something to do, yeah. They're just glad to have another pair of hands or another body around.
Do any of you cross over into community theatre and are performers yourself?
Wesley, the only one.
Wesley, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that when you introduced yourself.
He goes in a lot. He's in one of the dance ones next week, or the next.
Yeah, next Saturday. One of the dance schools is putting on Cinderella, so they hauled me in for that. So.
Are you playing Prince Charming?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the day.
So we sponsor every year. There's a community musical, and the next year it's a combined school musical. So we actually sponsor all that. Our organisation do not take any payments for that because we want to make it that these can continue, so the children in the higher grades in primary and high school, we keep ourselves involved. And Wesley will be he's always in all these.
That's amazing.
Well, without Friends of Theatre, the shows would probably be dearer. And we tally the hours up for the year, and we save how much we save them, Wesley. It's
$100 and something.
$100,000 to $200,000 by us volunteering.
Our motto was to keep the price down to allow more people, patrons or people of Gladstone to be able to attend a show. I mean, it's a great experience to come to a live show that a lot of people don't have this experience. We like to see the price kept down so people can afford to come and see live shows, not have to go to Brisbane to do it. And that's important because not everybody can afford to go to Brisbane to see a show,
It took us a long time fighting and lobbying to get it. The whole community got together to get this theatre. Way back, we had a mayor, who said we needed a theatre. She copped a lot of flack about it, but we ended up getting our theatre, and we had to fight hard to get it, and we had to raise, and lobby governments, and everything that we did was worth it because what we have got, honestly, this. As entertainers come through here, they say that it's one of the best theatres they've been in. Most of the people in Gladstone appreciate the theatre, and those who don't appreciate it, that's because they haven't experienced it yet. So that's just the next thing we have to do is make sure everyone experiences it.
What would you say to someone who's considering volunteering, not just at Friends of the Theatre or a Friends of the Theatre style program near them, but anywhere? What would you say to someone who was thinking about it and maybe needed that extra little push?
I think it's important to find a group of people that you are interested in what they're doing or the topic or the situation. I volunteered through the course of my life in several different groups and ways. I've learned if I want to spend my time on that, it should be something that really does interest me. To volunteer in something that just doesn't grab you, you're not going to really make the time that you really could. And enjoy it, enjoy it on both ends. Giving time as well as receiving that socialisation on a topic or service that you really like.
I'd advise them to look for something they're passionate about, because if you're passionate about what you're volunteering for, you will enjoy it and you will give the best you can for it.
Well, as everybody else has said, find something you're interested in. That's the most important thing. If you're volunteering for something that you're not interested in, you won't be giving it your all. You won't be providing your best service to that organisation or to wherever it might be. And in both theatre and volunteering, there's a social capital that gives back to the community. Theatre has amazing social capital in a community, and volunteering provides that as well. It's a dual purpose.
People give up what they can because your family, your work, the little bit you got left is for volunteering. Some people don't have a lot of time, but they give up that little personal time they could have for themselves and come here and do a shift. And they're just as important as the person that does 100 hours a month.
It's honestly bringing a tear to my eye thinking about how important the work that you all do is. Theatre is such an important part of my life and always has been. And thinking about the fact that if you couldn't do what you're doing and keep those prices down, that there'd be so many people in Gladstone and the surrounding areas that just wouldn't have an opportunity to experience the types of performances that you're all getting there because of the work that you do. And I just thank you from me on behalf of everyone. A huge thank you again to Bev, Heather, Amanda, Wesley, and all the volunteers at Friends of the Theatre in Gladstone. And thank you for listening to the official podcast of Volunteering Queensland. Each fortnight, we travel to regional and remote Queensland to meet some of the larrikins and heroes doing their bit to keep their communities alive through volunteering. The whole team at Volunteering Queensland wish you and yours a very happy and peaceful holiday period, and we can't wait to introduce you to more of Queensland's amazing volunteers in 2024. If you've enjoyed listening so far, please subscribe and leave us a review. It will really help us reach more listeners.